Have you ever reached the end of the day and wondered where your time went? You were busy, your mind racing, your energy drained, but in the end, nothing truly changed. It's as if you were moving, yet getting nowhere. It's like trying to hold water in your hands. The tighter you grip, the faster it slips away. That's what happens when you waste time on things that don't serve you. People, thoughts, and habits that drain you instead of elevating you. And the worst part? You don't even realize how much you've lost until it's too late. In this video, we'll reveal 8 major time wasters that drain your life, according to Stoic wisdom. These aren't just small distractions. They can steal years if you're not careful, and the last 2, so subtle, you won't even notice them controlling you. So sit back, stay focused, and let's dive in. And if you find this video insightful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us in mastering the art of Stoic wisdom. Number 1, seeking approval from others. Have you ever seen a dog chasing its own tail? It spins in circles, exhausting itself, but never truly catches what it's after. Seeking approval from others is just like that, an endless, tiring pursuit that never truly brings the satisfaction you're hoping for. Here's the truth: no matter how much you try to impress people, you will never have complete control over their opinions. Some will like you, some won't. And trying to shape your identity around external validation is like building a house on shifting sand, unstable and unreliable. Stoicism teaches us that true confidence comes from within, not from the fleeting approval of others. I remember a time when I was obsessed with what people thought of me. Every decision I made, what I wore, what I said, even what I posted online, was driven by the fear of judgment. If someone criticized me, it would ruin my entire day. But one day, I came across a simple yet powerful question. If you had to impress no one, how would you live your life? That question hit me hard. I realized I was living for others, not for myself. And the moment I let go of that need for approval, I felt lighter, freer, and more in control of my own happiness. Why is seeking approval a waste of time? Because it places your self-worth in the hands of others. You become dependent on their validation, which can change at any moment. Instead of focusing on your own values and growth, you end up shaping your life around what others might think. This doesn't just drain your energy, it steals your authenticity. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "If you wish to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." This means that growth requires the courage to be misunderstood. True wisdom and success often come from going against the crowd, not seeking their approval. How to stop wasting time? Seeking approval. Define your own standards. Ask yourself, what truly matters to me? Live by your own principles, not by the shifting opinions of others. Detach from praise and criticism. Don't let compliments inflate you or criticism deflate you. Stay steady, knowing that your worth isn't dependent on others' opinions. Trust yourself. The more you listen to your own intuition and values, the stronger your confidence becomes. Remember, not everyone will like you, and that's okay. The greatest figures in history were often criticized. If you're always pleasing everyone, you're probably not living authentically. Seeking approval is like drinking salt water. It never truly quenches your thirst. The more you chase it, the emptier you feel. The Stoics remind us that true freedom comes when you stop caring about the applause of the crowd and start living for yourself. And as Jesus said, what is highly valued among men is detestable in God's sight. True worth isn't measured by likes, applause, or social validation. It's measured by character, integrity, and the impact you leave behind. So the next time you find yourself craving approval, ask, am I chasing my own path, or am I running in circles after others' opinions? Choose self-respect over validation, and watch how much lighter and stronger you feel. Number 2, dwelling on the past. Have you ever tried driving a car while staring in the rearview mirror? If you focus too much on what's behind you, you'll miss what's ahead, and worse, you might crash. Dwelling on the past is just like that. The more you stay stuck in regrets, past mistakes, or missed opportunities, the harder it becomes to move forward. Here's the truth. No amount of overthinking can change what has already happened. The past is unchangeable, but your future isn't. Yet people waste years replaying past failures, regretting lost chances, and wishing things had gone differently. Stoicism teaches us that regret is a useless emotion. It doesn't solve anything. What matters is not what happened, but how you respond now. I remember a time when I let the past hold me back. I'd made a mistake, one that haunted me for months. I kept thinking, if only I had done things differently. If only I had made a better choice. That guilt became a weight on my shoulders, making me hesitant to take risks or try again. But then I came across a simple yet powerful realization. The past is a locked door. No matter how much you knock, it will never open again. That's when I stopped wasting my energy on what I couldn't change and started focusing on what I could control, my actions in the present. Why is dwelling on the past a waste of time? Because it traps you in a loop of regret without offering any solutions. Instead of growing, learning, and moving forward, you become stuck in what could have been. And while you're busy looking back, life keeps moving forward without you. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius once said, "Think of yourself as dead. You have lived your life. Now take what's left and live it properly." This isn't about ignoring the past. It's about refusing to let it define you. How to stop dwelling on the past? Forgive yourself and others. You can't rewrite history, but you can decide not to carry its weight anymore. Let go. Shift your focus to the present. When your mind drifts to past regrets, ask yourself, what can I do right now to create a better future? Use the past as a lesson, not a prison. Learn from mistakes, but don't live in them. Treat them as stepping stones, not chains. Take action. Instead of wishing things had been different, take steps today that your future self will thank you for. Dwelling on the past is like carrying a backpack full of rocks. You think holding on to it serves a purpose, but all it does is weigh you down. The Stoics remind us that true strength comes from focusing on what's within our control, the present moment. And as Jesus said, no one who puts his hand to the plow and looks back is fit for the kingdom of God. Your purpose isn't behind you, it's ahead. So the next time you catch yourself trapped in past regrets, ask, am I staring in the rearview mirror, or am I focused on the road ahead? Choose to release the weight of yesterday and move forward with purpose, strength, and clarity. And Number 3, worrying about the future. Have you ever been stuck in quicksand? The more you struggle, the deeper you sink. Worrying about the future is just like that. It doesn't help you escape, it just pulls you down further, drowning you in anxiety over things that haven't even happened. Here's the truth, the future is unknowable, no matter how much you obsess over it. You can plan, you can prepare, but you cannot control every outcome. And yet, people waste years fearing possibilities that may never even come to pass. Stoicism teaches us that most of our suffering is self-inflicted, not from reality itself, but from the fearful stories we create in our minds. As Seneca wisely said, we suffer more in imagination than in reality. I learned this lesson the hard way. There was a time in my life when I was terrified of making the wrong choices. Every decision felt like life or death. I would play out worst-case scenarios in my head until I felt paralyzed. What if I fail? What if I regret this? What if I ruin everything? The weight of uncertainty made me hesitate, and I started avoiding risks. But one day, something hit me. How many of my fears had actually come true? The answer, almost none. I had spent so much time drowning in what-ifs that I had missed out on living. That realization was like grabbing onto a rope and pulling myself out of the quicksand. Why is worrying about the future a waste of time? Because it changes nothing except stealing your peace. You can spend hours, days, even years fearing the unknown, but life will unfold whether you worry about it or not. The only thing you do have control over, how you act in the present. Marcus Aurelius put it simply, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Instead of letting the future control you, focus on mastering your mindset now. How to stop worrying about the future? Ask yourself, is this fear real? Most of what we fear never happens. When you start worrying, pause and ask, is this a real threat or just my imagination running wild? Focus on what's in your control. The future isn't yours to control, but your actions today are. Shift your energy to what you can change. Stop overthinking and take action. Fear feeds on inaction. The longer you hesitate, the stronger it grows. Instead of thinking, do something. Even a small step forward breaks the cycle. Trust yourself. You've survived every challenge so far. Whatever comes next, you'll handle it just like you always have. Worrying about the future is like standing at the edge of a diving board, too afraid to jump, while everyone else is already in the water, living. The Stoics remind us that the obstacle is the way. The only way forward is through action, not overthinking. And as Jesus said, do not be anxious about tomorrow, for tomorrow will be anxious for itself. Worrying doesn't prepare you, it only robs you of today. So the next time you catch yourself sinking into fear of the future, ask, am I sinking in quicksand or am I stepping forward with courage? Choose action, choose trust, choose now. If you've watched the video this far, make sure to comment "Thank God" to let us know you're with us. Number 4, trying to control others. Have you ever tried to hold onto a handful of sand? The tighter you squeeze, the more it slips through your fingers. Trying to control others is just like that. The more you force, the more resistance you create. No matter how much you try to shape someone's thoughts, actions, or feelings, the reality is simple. You don't own their choices. Here's the truth. People will think what they want. They will act how they want. You can argue, persuade, demand, even manipulate. But at the end of the day, the only person you have true control over is yourself. Stoicism teaches us that freedom comes not from controlling others, but from mastering ourselves. As Epictetus wisely said, no man is free who is not master of himself. I learned this the hard way. There was a time when I constantly tried to change people, convincing friends to make better decisions, pushing family members to see things my way, expecting others to live up to my standards. But what did I get in return? Frustration, arguments, distance. The more I tried to control people, the more I felt like I was losing them. Then I realized something. If I can't even fully control my own emotions all the time, why would I expect to control someone else? That was the moment I stopped wasting my energy on trying to fix others and started focusing on improving myself. Why is trying to control others a waste of time? Because it never works. People are not puppets. They have their own minds, experiences, and free will. Instead of strengthening relationships, control pushes people away, breeds resentment, and drains your energy on something that is completely outside of your power. The Stoics believed that peace comes from focusing on what is within your control and letting go of what isn't. That includes other people. How to stop trying to control others and find inner peace. Accept that people are free to be themselves. You may not like their choices, but it's their life to live, not yours. Focus on leading by example, not force. Instead of forcing change, inspire it. Let your actions be a guide, not your demands. Detach from the outcome. You can offer advice, but whether someone listens is their decision, not yours. Master yourself. The only person you can truly change is you. Channel your energy into self-growth, not controlling others. Trying to control others is like pushing against the ocean, expecting it to stop moving. It's pointless and exhausting. The Stoics remind us that true freedom comes from focusing on what's within our power, our actions, our mindset, and our response to the world around us. And as Jesus said, do to others as you would have them do to you. Respect others' autonomy, just as you want yours to be respected. So the next time you catch yourself frustrated over someone else's choices, ask, am I trying to control the waves, or am I learning to sail? Choose to let go, focus on yourself, and find the peace that comes with true inner mastery. Number 5, holding grudges. Have you ever seen someone clenching their fist so tightly that their own hand starts to hurt? That's what holding a grudge does. It doesn't harm the person you're angry at, it only hurts you. You grip onto resentment, refusing to let go, but the only person suffering is you. Here's the truth. Grudges don't fix the past, they poison the present. You think holding onto anger gives you power, but in reality, it gives power to the very person who hurt you. Stoicism teaches us that true peace isn't found in revenge, but in release. As Seneca wisely said, anger, if not restrained, is frequently more hurtful to us than the injury that provokes it. I used to hold on to grudges like they were trophies. If someone wronged me, I made sure to remember it. I thought it made me stronger, but all it did was drain me. I would replay old arguments, imagine comebacks I never said, and let my anger live rent-free in my mind. One day I realized something. I was punishing myself for someone else's mistake. The moment I let go, I felt lighter, because forgiveness isn't about excusing the past, it's about reclaiming your future. Why is holding a grudge a waste of time? Because it doesn't change what happened. You can't rewrite the past, and you can't force someone to feel remorse. But you can choose to stop carrying the weight of their actions on your shoulders. The Stoics believed that anger is self-inflicted suffering. It's like locking yourself in a cage and giving the key to the very person who hurt you. How to let go of grudges and find inner peace. Recognize that forgiveness is strength, not weakness. It doesn't mean what happened was okay. It means you're choosing peace over pain. Stop replaying the past. Every time you relive the anger, you let it control you again. Break the cycle. Accept that people are flawed. Just like you've made mistakes, others have too. Holding on to resentment only traps you in the past. Prioritize your peace over your ego. Ask yourself, is this grudge worth my happiness? Choose peace. Holding a grudge is like carrying a burning coal, expecting the other person to feel the heat, but the only one getting burned is you. The Stoics remind us that real power is in letting go, not holding on. So the next time you feel resentment creeping in, ask yourself, am I gripping onto this anger, or am I ready to open my hand and let it go? Choose freedom. Choose peace. Choose yourself. If you found this video helpful, like it, subscribe for more timeless wisdom, and let's connect in the comments. What's one lesson or sign that stood out to you? I'll personally reply to your comments, so let's talk. Number 6, arguing over trivial matters. Have you ever seen two dogs barking at each other through a fence, neither willing to back down? They growl, they snarl, they make a scene, but the fence never moves. That's what arguing over trivial matters looks like. A loud, exhausting battle that leads nowhere. Here's the truth. Some battles just aren't worth fighting. You can debate, you can prove your point, you can win the argument, but at what cost? Time wasted, energy drained, peace disturbed. Stoicism teaches us that true strength isn't in winning every debate, but in knowing which ones are worth your effort. I used to be the type of person who couldn't let things go. If someone was wrong, I had to correct them. If I disagreed with someone, I had to prove my point. But after countless useless debates, I asked myself, Did any of these arguments actually improve my life? The answer was no. Most of the time, all I got was frustration and tension. That's when I realized choosing peace is not the same as losing. Sometimes, the real victory is walking away. Why is arguing over trivial matters a waste of time? Because it changes nothing. Some people don't argue to find the truth. They argue to win. And if you spend your time engaging in pointless debates, you lose focus on what actually matters. The Stoics believed that true wisdom comes from choosing where to direct your energy. If something won't matter in a month, a year, or a lifetime, why let it steal your peace? How to stop wasting energy on useless arguments. Ask yourself, does this really matter? If it won't impact your life in any meaningful way, let it go. Understand that some people just want to argue. Not every debate is worth engaging in. Some battles have no winners. Choose peace over being right. Let your ego go. Walking away from an unnecessary argument doesn't make you weak, it makes you wise. Redirect your energy to what actually matters. Every minute spent on a useless argument is a minute lost for something productive. Protect your time. Arguing over trivial matters is like fighting the wind. You can push all you want, but nothing will change. The Stoics remind us that true strength isn't in endless debating, but in knowing when to speak and when to stay silent. So the next time you feel yourself getting drawn into a pointless debate, ask, am I defending something important, or am I just barking at a fence? Choose wisdom, choose peace, choose what truly matters. Number 7, chasing material possessions. Have you ever tried to chase a shadow? No matter how fast you run, it always stays just out of reach. That's what chasing material possessions feels like, an endless pursuit of something that never truly satisfies. Here's the truth. No amount of wealth, luxury, or status will ever bring lasting fulfillment. You get a new car, a bigger house, a designer watch, and for a moment it feels good. But then, the excitement fades, and you're back to searching for the next thing to fill the emptiness. Stoicism teaches us that contentment doesn't come from having more, but from needing less. I learned this lesson firsthand when I finally bought something I had been dreaming of for years, a luxury watch. I thought it would make me feel successful, powerful, complete. But after a few weeks, the excitement wore off, and I was left wondering, is this it? Is this what happiness is supposed to feel like? That's when I realized something. The joy wasn't in the watch, it was in the chase. And if I kept believing happiness came from possessions, I'd spend my entire life chasing, never arriving. Why is chasing material possessions a waste of time? Because it never ends. The more you get, the more you want. And instead of feeling grateful for what you have, you focus on what you don't have. It's a cycle of endless desire, and the finish line keeps moving further away. The Stoics believed that true happiness comes from within, not from external things. A rich man with an empty soul is still poor, but a man with nothing who is content, he has everything. How to find fulfillment beyond material wealth. Shift your focus from having to being. Instead of asking, what do I want to own? Ask, what kind of person do I want to be? Practice gratitude. Take a moment each day to appreciate what you already have. Contentment starts with recognizing abundance, not chasing more. Detach from the illusion of status, a bigger house, a fancier car, a more expensive watch. None of it changes who you are inside. Invest in what truly matters. Instead of spending on things, invest in experiences, relationships, and self-growth. Those are the things that bring real happiness. Chasing material wealth is like trying to fill a leaking bucket. No matter how much you pour in, it's never enough. The Stoics remind us that the richest person isn't the one who has the most, it's the one who needs the least. So, the next time you feel the urge to chase the next big purchase, ask, Am I collecting things, or am I building a life that truly fulfills me? Choose simplicity, choose contentment, choose what money can't buy. Number 8, waiting for the perfect moment. Have you ever stood at the edge of a cold pool, dipping your toe in, waiting for the perfect moment to jump? You tell yourself you'll go in when the water feels right, but the longer you wait, the harder it gets. Eventually you realize there is no perfect moment. You just have to take the leap. Here's the truth. Perfection is an illusion. If you keep waiting for the right time to act, whether it's starting a new project, chasing a dream, or making a tough decision, you'll wait forever. The longer you hesitate, the more your confidence erodes, and the more opportunities pass you by. Stoicism teaches us that life is happening now, and action is always better than endless waiting. As Marcus Aurelius said, "Do what you can with what you have, where you are." I remember a time when I fell into this trap. I had an idea for a creative project that I was excited about, but I kept telling myself, I'll start when I have more time, when I'm more prepared, when conditions are perfect. Weeks turned into months, and before I knew it, the spark had faded. One day, I realized that the only thing standing between me and progress was my own hesitation. So I stopped waiting. I took the first step, even though things weren't perfect. And you know what? It worked out better than I imagined. Why is waiting for the perfect moment so dangerous? Because it convinces you that action requires ideal conditions. In reality, confidence and growth come from action, not before it. You don't get ready and then start, you start, and that's how you get ready. Here's how to stop waiting and start acting. Set a 24-hour rule. If you have an idea or a goal, take the first step within 24 hours. Even if it's small, momentum is key. Reframe fear as a signal. If you're hesitating, it likely means the action is important. Use fear as a sign to move forward, not to hold back. Embrace imperfection. Remind yourself that nothing starts out perfect. The sooner you begin, the sooner you'll improve. Take micro actions. Break big goals into tiny steps. Start messy. Start small, but start. Waiting for the perfect moment is like waiting for all the traffic lights to turn green before you start driving. You'll never get anywhere. The Stoics remind us that life is unpredictable, and the only time you truly own is now. By embracing action over hesitation, you take control of your destiny. So, the next time you catch yourself waiting for the right moment, ask, am I delaying progress, or am I taking the leap? Choose action over hesitation. Step forward and watch how the path unfolds as you move. The perfect moment isn't coming, it's already here. If this video resonated with you, make sure to like it, subscribe for more Stoic-inspired guidance, and share your thoughts in the comments. I'll personally reply to your comments. Tell me which of these signs you've noticed in your life.